Good morning. Sorry I couldn't be there today. Today we're going to talk a little bit about deductive reasoning. Now we're going to do a few notes. You don't really need any of your own scratch paper or notebook paper for this. Just use the pages that you ripped out, which we'll be using. I think it's roughly page 45 through 48 today. So again, pages 45 through 48. Those are the ones that we're going to use. Page 45, 48. That's where we are today in that student companion pages that you ripped out. Now, for the other thing or the other piece that you'll need is you'll need the vocab. So there's 3 vocab words for this section: deductive reasoning, law of detachment, and law of syllogism. So now these 3 are the only vocab in this one. The first one, deductive reasoning. So it is a process of reasoning using given and previously known facts to reach a logical conclusion. So this is kind of the opposite of what we're doing with inductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning is making observations, looking at patterns, coming up with conjectures. This one, deductive reasoning, this is taking things that we already know to be true and applying them. So using laws, rules, anything like that. Law of detachment. So law of detachment is probably one of the most basic laws when it comes to reasoning. It says, if a conditional statement and its hypothesis are true, then its conclusion is also true. So if P then Q and P are true, then Q is also true. Right. I know that's kind of confusing, but once we do a couple examples, it'll make more sense. And then the last one, law of syllogism. So given 2 true conditionals with the conclusion of the first being the hypothesis of the second, there exists a third true conditional having the hypothesis of the first and the conclusion of the second. So in the notation there, if P then Q, if Q then R are true, then if P then R. So essentially you're kind of cutting out the middleman. Here we had Q in, let's see if I can find it. So Q within both of these. So we got rid of Q and then we're left with just if P then R. So Q kind of tied them together, but now we can skip Q. We don't actually have to state that one anymore. All right, let's look at a couple examples. This first one, it says, if Alicia scored 85 or greater on her test, she will earn an A as her final grade. Alicia scores a 89 on her test. What can you logically conclude? Well, she got an 89, which is higher than 85, so she got an A. Now, how did we make this conclusion? Well, again, the if-then statement that they gave us was a true statement. The beginning part then was met by the same idea. So the if part said, if Alicia scores 85 or greater on her test. Well, we now know that she did score higher than 85. In fact, she scored an 89. So since that part is making that statement true, the other half of the statement would also have to be true. So your conclusion has to come out true. So again, the idea here, we met both the hypothesis as a true statement and the original conditional as a true statement. Therefore, the conclusion is true. Well, let's take a look at the try-its in your book. Now, the first one, given that a conditional and its hypothesis are true, can you determine whether the conclusion is true? Yes, you can conclude that the conclusion is true. So if you know that you have those true statements and you have a true hypothesis, then you know the conclusion is also true. All right, so a couple examples. Let's go down there to B first. I think B is going to be the one that you guys understand better. So if you finish the race under 30 minutes, then you will win a prize. You finish the race in 26 minutes, which means you've finished in less than 30 minutes. So you should earn a prize. On A, let's go back to that one. If two angles are congruent, then the measures of two angles are equal to each other. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. What can you logically conclude about the measures of angle 1 and angle 2? So this one, since we have the first part of this gave us the if-then statement, if two angles are congruent, and now we know that those angles are congruent. Well, since that first part's been met, then we can say for sure that the conclusion is true. Then the measures of the two angles are equal to each other. So angle 1, the measure of angle 1 is equal to the measure of angle 2. And you can use the notation there, or you can write it out in words. On part B, I already said the answer for that one, you would win a prize. All right, example 3. So this is law of syllogism working. And again, this is basically just cutting out the middleman. So it says, assume that all these statements are true. If Kenji plays a trumpet, then he plays a brass instrument. If he plays a brass instrument, then he's a member of the marching band. Well, we are going to just basically cross off the conclusion from the first and cross off the hypothesis from the second, since they're the same thing. Talking about playing a brass instrument, we can skip those and combine the first part with the last part. So if Kenji plays the trumpet, then he is a member of the marching band. All right. And again, that's just some further explaining. All right, let's do the try-its. So on this one, it says, if an integer is divisible by 6 and it is divisible by 2. If an integer is divisible by 2, then it is an even number. So on here, if we just get rid of the part where it's saying divisible by 2, we'll have, let's cross that out. And then same scenario, starting this off, divisible by 2. So now it reads, if an integer is divisible by 6, then it is an even number. All right, the last one there for try it. If it is a holiday, then you don't have to go to school. If it is Labor Day, then it is a holiday. So what do we know about this? If you get rid of the first part of it, so if it is a holiday, then you don't have to go to school. All right, so again, if it's a holiday, which Labor Day is a holiday, so guess what? You don't have to go to school. Right, there's answers to those two. And finally, I'm just putting this back up on the board. So if you missed it earlier, these are the 3 vocab words that we did. And up there at the very top, there is the actual assignment. So right there at the very top, it's on page 46 and 48. I do want you to do all of them. Now, a lot of them are just rewriting the conditional statement. So hopefully sorry. So like I was saying, on here we had these are the 3 vocab words again. If you want to pause this video, you can leave that up so that you can copy them. The other part of this, again, the assignment, page 46 and 48, you're doing the whole thing. It might take you the class period, it might not, but just make sure you have it done when I check it off tomorrow. Also, these are from your pages, so you shouldn't have to get any type of handout from a substitute. However, if you don't have ripped out pages, so there might be 2 or 3 of you that were new in the last couple days that didn't get a student companion book to rip pages out of, I did leave a few copies for the sub for these 2 pages, page 46 and 48. Have a good day.